If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable coins for your college football 25 team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shot. Still out the college cheese as always. In today's video, we have another update from EA for college football 25, and it's kind of another weird one, but it's definitely one of the things that a lot of people have been asking for the most. So I'm going to get right into that. But before I do, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. And if you need more help or more money plays, I just dropped a brand new ebook, the North Texas 335 defense. The offense is coming soon. Also dropped a custom offense and defense. So if you guys need any help, you can download any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, late last night, there was some communication put out from an account that I don't really follow in EA Help. But it was luckily reposted by CFB Direct, which is an account that I do follow. And they said, we'll be running maintenance on CFB 25 on December 10th at 11 a.m. UTC for about 3 hours. While we're working on it, you won't be able to play online, but we'll get you back in the game as soon as we can. So I don't know why EA Help put this out. Typically, it's College Football Direct's account, or if it's a Madden update. And they pretty much say the same thing every single time. They say server mates will begin tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. 6 a.m. during this time, all online modes. If you guys watch these videos, you've seen these tweets before, where they're basically the same every single time. So the fact that it was posted by a different account and it wasn't written in the same language, I really had no idea what was going on. Also, plus the fact it was a different time zone entirely, I had really no idea if there was going to be any actual update or anything to present to you guys that got changed until today. There was some changes made. As they posted about an hour ago, update, we finished the maintenance on CFB 25 and online services are now back up and running on all platforms. Thanks for your patience. Now, they did add a lot of things as far as uniforms, but what they actually fixed, there really wasn't a ton of communication. There was a clickable link that would take you, or suggested it would take you to update notes so you get a better idea of what actually got updated. But when you click on that link, it just takes you to an advertisement to buy the MVP bundle, where you can buy both college football and Madden, and then there's no actual updates on the notes. They did, however, release a small blurb basically on their CFB Direct account saying an update for CFB 25 is now live. And then they give you about 3 to 5 bullet points you could argue about the things that they did actually fix, and they leave a lot of that up to your imagination in typical EA fashion. Now, I'll go over the stability fixes first, because this is something that, once again, whenever they put that stability fixes, general fixes like that, it could be anything. But the biggest thing that I could imagine it could be is based around the fact that they still have the 56 player glitch. If you guys remember, last week there was an update, or whether there was an attempted update, where they tried to update both College Football 25 and Madden 25 on the same day, but it was a complete disaster as far as whatever it was they were trying to do. Where they tried, and they didn't even put out patch notes for that either, but they tried to update some things in both games, and it ultimately just had more issues for Ultimate Team than anything, where they had to shut down Ultimate Team servers and do maintenance throughout pretty much the entire day for whatever promo it was they were trying to drop. Now, that obviously, I think, was the reason that they tried to put off the rest of these patches, because the second they figured that out, they spent the rest of the day trying to fix whatever mistakes they made. I made a whole video about it. I'll have links on the screen at the end of the video if you guys want to check that out. But I'm not going to go into it again because it was a whole thing. But ultimately, that was probably why they didn't do the full update for college football, because at the end of the day, they said that they were going to have patch notes for the last update, and all they really came out with was player ratings updates, which a lot of people felt like was a non-update. This particular one feels pretty close to that, but it also feels like it was supposed to be part of the last update. It feels like this was all supposed to happen at once, but since it was such a disaster, the way that they basically broke Ultimate Team, it feels like they had to put all this stuff on the back burner, and that's why we're getting like a half update last week and a half update this week. So if these were all together at the same time, it seemed like it's a pretty sizable update. So we kind of have to include the fact that they just did the player ratings, as well as all the uniforms and the small changes that they're doing here. Now, they also said updates including a fix to CPU quarterback's ability to pitch. Now, this is definitely an issue for players. I don't know why they only address the ability for the computer to do a pitch. I mean, obviously that would matter if you're playing as a running back in Road to Glory, or obviously if you're playing in a mode where you're not controlling the quarterback. But for most people would agree that pitches are not very good. Fumbles happen way too often in pitches. I'm hoping whatever fix they did, because like I said, they didn't give the full patch notes, but I'm hoping whatever this fix is also has a positive effect for users that are doing a pitch. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really say that. Another thing that they tried to tune was the overtime AI logic, which both of these kind of come from the same aspect of playing the computer more often, which most people don't necessarily do. But if you're playing in an offline dynasty, or if you're playing Road to Glory, these things could have benefits, because one of the bigger issues is just the immersiveness of the game. If you're playing against a team in overtime, and I guess they're not playing like it's overtime, like it's do or die, then it doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it can kind of ruin the immersion. But that's pretty much it. We really only have 3 things there, and then they go into introducing new uniforms for over 40 teams, including Colorado, Texas A&M, LSU, Army, Navy, and more. And then once again, since there's no real patch notes, we don't know exactly the 40 teams that got updated uniforms, but there are a couple of leaks that came out, which is, it sounds funny to say leaks when we're talking about a patch that happened in a current game that's available to everybody, but it just feels like they're not they're not letting us know necessarily what all the updated uniforms are. So I tried to wait to see how many I would get information on, and I only really got information about 5. So if your favorite team had an update onto a uniform that because you use that team a lot, because I typically just play online, road to the playoffs, road to college football playoffs. So I don't really even have the option to change uniforms. So uniforms, as cool as some of these uniforms look, it doesn't really make a whole difference to me based on the fact that I can't use them anyway in the game mode that I play the most. I do have an offline dynasty, but that's not as something I like playing people. I don't really like playing the computer. So for the most part, this patch was not directed at my audience at all. But I will show you guys what some of these new uniforms look like based off of what they actually told us in the patch notes. Now I'll show you guys some of the uniforms, but I don't have all 40 plus new uniforms because they're not listed anywhere. I searched the internet as long as I could. I didn't find anything. There are some slow tweets coming out from specific colleges talking about the new uniforms that they have in the game that's being reposted by EA Sports, but I'm not going to wait all day to put this video out based off of uniforms. Now the first one I got here is the Houston Blue uniforms. As I can't really talk, these look pretty cool. I mean, they remind me of like the old Houston Oiler uniforms. I hit the wrong button there to back off of it, but it's definitely a cool look. As it appears that EA is kind of just retweeting stuff as colleges are putting it out. LSU has their gold jerseys. That's a current throwback that they added. They added the 101 Airborne alternate to Army, which looks really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I said, all these uniforms look nice. They continue to show love to the servicemen. They gave Navy an update as well, the Jolly Rogers alternate, which once again, I mean, these uniforms look like fire. I mean, those socks look amazing. But it's, I mean, the uniforms, like I said, it'd be nice to use these in the game mode that I play. Now, they also added this USC throwback, but it doesn't look that much different than the current home uniform. You can see it doesn't change much. So, I mean, I get it, but this is like when I think of USC, I think this is like the Reggie Bush era, Matt Leinart era throwback that they're going for here. But to me, I didn't even realize that they changed it to the current one. So this to me just looks like USC's uniform. And then last but not least, we got Western Kentucky, but for whatever reason, it says there's a new alternate uniform, but I'm not seeing it in here because this one actually was my favorite. I tried to save it to the end, but mostly because of the eyeballs and the helmet looks awesome. But I'm not too familiar with this program as far as what that means or what that's meant to. The Hilltoppers, what that has to do with the Hilltoppers, but it's not actually in the game. I went through every single one of them and I didn't actually find it. As it appears that you can select the big red eye helmet, but if you just go through the current options, it doesn't actually bring up the big red eye helmet, so that's a little bit strange, but you can select that helmet. I'm going to go ahead and end the video there, though. Like I said, this one here, this would have been a better update if it all came out on one day. They could have held off on the player ratings for a couple days and put that out at the same time as this, and it would have seemed way better. Uniforms, player ratings, and some of the small patches that they made. Elaborating a little bit more would have been nice too, but they didn't do that, so we'll have to share all that information in the comment section. But if you guys want to see the disaster that they did last week, I'll have that pop up on screen, so just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.